Hello everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel. Essay writing can be really difficult. It can be even more difficult if you have to write for IELTS. Today we learn what is IELTS writing task 2, which is essay writing. But before we go any further, please subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon. Now let's talk about what is IELTS academic task 2. So in this task, you are required to write at least 250 words. And the topic given is normally a controversial topic, which means we do not get essay topics as we normally get in college exams, like writing on co-education or 2 words or 3 words topic. Here you will find a statement, and generally there are 2 sides of these statements. So in other words, it will be controversial issue or a problem that needs to be solved. So you are given 40 minutes for this. For IELTS writing task, total time duration is 60 minutes, which is 1 hour. But you have to divide this time between 2 tasks. Task 1, you should be spending 20 minutes. And I said earlier in one of the classes before on IELTS writing task 1 that please do not go beyond 20 minutes. If you do, you'll be giving time which otherwise you should be spending on essay writing. So essay writing needs full attention. There are more marks for that. There are more points for that. Therefore, you should be spending more time, more energies on IELTS writing task 2. Now, there are 4 criteria on the basis of which you'll be assessed. Number 1, task response, which means did you answer the question which was asked? Did you write 250 words? And did you write in essay format? So did you develop the essay, the topic fully? So that will be task response. And then coherence and cohesion. Are the ideas connected? Do they look compact? Are ideas following logically? Are there enough connectives which make the argument logical, well connected with the help of transitions, in other words? And you'll also be assessed on your vocabulary, which means if your vocabulary is of basic level, you'll get different band. If it's intermediate level, you'll definitely get better band. And if your vocabulary is advanced level, certainly you'll get full marks for that. So for example, if the topic is law, then if you use words like constitution, legislation, then certainly these are advanced level words and you'll be getting better scores for that. And lastly, grammar, which means not only that you have to write in variety of ways, but you have to write correct grammar as well. So by variety of ways means are you using simple sentences only, or you also use compound sentence, complex sentence, compound complex sentence, conditional sentences. Now this will determine that you have range of grammar. You can express one thing in number of ways or in number of types of sentences. So on the basis of 4 these criteria, your marks are determined, your band is determined. Now let's look at the example of essay question. So you'll be asked something like that. Some people believe that children should be allowed to use electronic devices in class. Others think that they should be banned. Discuss both views and give your opinion. Now, as you can see, there are 2 sides of the argument. There are people who believe that children should be given electronic devices, and there are also people who believe that they should be sanctioned or they should be banned, right? So you have to discuss these both ideas and then you have to give your own view. Or let's look at the other example. In some countries, some people, more and more people are becoming vegetarian. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages of this trend. Now, as you can see also, there are 2 sides of the argument here as well. So you'll go for advantages or disadvantages. But how you should tackle this, we'll talk about it in a while. But here you need to understand how essay questions look like, right? Now, essay questions can fall in number of categories, and 4 of these are here. Opinion-based essays, there may be problem, and then you'll have to give solution. There may be advantages and disadvantages, as we just saw, or discuss both views and give your opinion. Also, we saw in one of the examples here that you can also be given two views and you have to argue about them. You have to give your opinion in the end. You have to discuss and then you have to give opinion on them. So roughly essays will fall in these categories. So now, before we go any further, what I have done now, I have written essay questions on my right side, on your right side, as you can see on the screen, and on the left there are question types. So you have to match them. So what you should do, pause this video, do this exercise, and then come back. Right now, let's go further. Now, these are the answers of the questions that you have just done, right? So check and tally if your answers were incorrect or correct, and then also try to find out why the answers were incorrect. That's going to help you a lot in your exam. Let's move on, guys. So organizing essay is really important. Do not spend time in just writing essay. You have to organize it, you have to give it a structure, and then if you organize it well, it's easier for the examiner to give you marks. And then you have it'll show that you can clearly put an argument, and that will also save you time for revision as well, right? So organizing essay is really important. What you should do for that, you should create outline. It's really important. That will help you to focus on your writing and do thinking before actually writing starts. What I normally suggest my students is that you should compose a sentence in your mind and then put on the paper. Do not write and think at the same time. If you do that, you'll be making mistakes. And then if you develop good outline, you won't have to think a lot while writing. So I'll suggest you to think before writing. So start brainstorming ideas. That's the beginning point. You can list, or you can do a mind map, or you can also do peel organization, like give your point, then explain that, give example of that, and then also link that with the topic, right? So that is how there are various ways of brainstorming, thinking of ideas for a topic. So you can practice a few and see what suits you. Some people also go for free writing, but that can be time taking also. It's always a good idea to do as a practice, but on real exam time, I'll really suggest you that listing can be more effective. But then try practice with all of these techniques and see what suits you well. So now each group of ideas will become a body of paragraphs. So once you have developed ideas through brainstorming, through listing, then that will be converted into a paragraph. And then write a brief sentence for each body paragraph summarizing its main point. Let's move on. So for organizing, let's talk about what should be the structure of an essay. So essay should have introduction, body paragraphs, at least two, and then conclusion also in the end. So that is how the format of an essay is. As there is format for any other writing, for example, if you're writing a sonnet or a couplet or any other kind of poem, it will definitely have its format. So essay has its own format, which is introduction, body paragraphs, and then conclusion. For essay writings, there can be 5 paragraphs in total, but I'll suggest you practice with 4 paragraphs. Why? Because that will help you to work on the same footprints, on the same structure, and that will be easier for you to manage during exam as well. So what are all these parts? We'll talk about them in a bit. So let's move ahead. I'll talk about all what is introduction and how to write introduction, then how to write body paragraphs. In fact, I'll provide you a template. Let's see, let me show you and then we'll talk about it. So for introduction, first sentence should be paraphrasing the question. That means writing the same question in your own words. So that will kind of introduce what the topic is. So take the idea from the prompt, from the question, but do not write same words. The reason is, if you take same words from the question, you will be getting low marks on vocabulary. So you have to paraphrase that to get better marks. And then state your position on the issue. So whatever the question is in the end, you should give your opinion on that. Like if it's asking how far do you agree or disagree, tell how far do you agree or disagree. Are there advantages or disadvantages? Tell in the question, in the first paragraph, that there are more advantages or there are more disadvantages. That should be done in your paragraph number 1, because in task achievement they'll also check that if you have answered the question, and the question is what are advantages and disadvantages, for example. So they must see, examiner must see that you have answered that question in the beginning. And give a brief overview of the main points that you will discuss in your essay. So there'll be mainly two arguments that you'll be discussing. So it's always good idea to hint that, to talk about that, those in your last sentence. So introduction shouldn't be beyond 3 sentences. I mean, at least there should be 3 sentences. There can be paragraph of 2 sentences as well, like paraphrasing and then stating your position, but it's always good idea that you should hint what is it that you are going to talk about, the main ideas that you would have thought already. In body paragraphs, discuss the main points. So you'll have at least 2 main points or 3 main points. So discuss one of them in your first sentence. That will be topic sentence also, and we'll have a separate discussion what is topic sentence. I'll manage one complete class on this topic, but that will be first topic sentence, and then use evidence. So explain that whatever your point of view is, and your explanation can be like this. This is because, for example, your point of view is students should not be allowed to use mobile in classes. The main reason for this is, so now you are giving reason, for example, and then you give example for that. Okay, so give reason whatever your point of view is, and then support that with example, 1 or 2 examples, right? And if you have any additional point to make, use the word additionally, in addition, furthermore, moreover, and then talk about next argument as well. Now please do not repeat words. For example, if you have to give example, you can write for instance, to illustrate, such as. So show that you know more words than these few words that you're using. So do not repeat words, right? Or if you are using in addition in one paragraph, do not repeat that word. In the next paragraph you can write additionally, there will be a different word, or moreover, furthermore, for giving more information or for giving additional information, right? So then use transition words, as I said earlier. Yes, transition words are really important. They'll help you move from one point of view to another, and will give you marks on coherence and cohesion. So you'll follow same pattern for paragraph 2 as well. You'll be discussing the main point in the beginning, then you will give reasons for that. You'll provide evidence from your own knowledge or experience, or from sources that you have read to support your argument. Sometimes it's okay to make up an argument. For example, research in Harvard suggests. So examiners are not going to verify if you are saying it right or the research has actually taken place. They want to see if you are able to put evidence in proper language. That's what their concern is. That's what you are supposed to do. Sorry. So same as you need to do in first paragraph, use transition words to help your reader to follow your argument. So if you have to give example or more information, use more than, show that you know more than few words. So use different types of words. Or if you want to negate an argument, or you give another viewpoint, or you're contradicting, so you can use words like however, nevertheless, nonetheless, on the other hand. So in other words, you need to present variety of words to make your point clear. So in conclusion, summarize the main points of your essay. So 2 ideas, so repeat them, say them in different words, use synonyms, and restate your position, whatever position you took you already said in the first paragraph, and repeat that also. Ideally use different words. If there is advantages and disadvantages, you should be writing positives and negatives, benefits and drawbacks. So in other words, do not repeat words, use different words, but then restate your position. So your position, whatever you take, it's really important. You should tell that, you should take that position in the first paragraph, and you should also take the same position in the last paragraph, which is concluding paragraph, right? So examiners will also see that, okay, whatever question was asked, he was asked to give his opinion, and he has actually given his opinion. And in the end, you can give any prediction, suggestion. In other words, leave your reader with something to think about. Ideally, in the last sentence, if you think you can write with conditional sentence, if this happens, then that will happen. That is going to give you good marks also. And normally, this kind of structure suits for the conclusion. Or you can start consequently, this happens, right? So I hope I'm making my point clear. If not, you can always write in the comment box. I'll try to repeat what you don't understand. Now, as I said earlier, use transition words and phrases to connect your ideas. Okay, so you can connect ideas with transition words. You can also connect words with pronouns. For example, he was punctual. For example, he is referring to what you said earlier, like for example, Ali was always in time, he was punctual in all meetings. So now he is connecting first sentence with the second one, right? Or similarly, transitions can also be moreover. On the other hand, these will also indicate a proper flow of an argument. So pronouns, you can use repeat keywords, synonyms. For example, let me see what example comes in my mind. The punishment that prisoners got will teach them lessons. Penalties often work in many ways. So now punishment, penalty, although I'm using a different word, but still it's a synonym. That means I'm still talking about the same idea, right? So you can repeat words and phrases to connect ideas and emphasize your points. And use examples and statistics. As I said earlier, you can talk about percentage that shows your argument, or you can quote something from your real life that will also support your argument. So now lastly, how to avoid common mistakes in IELTS writing task 2. So avoid repeating ideas. Avoid repeating ideas. Do not say same thing again. In other words, go on. Like, you should understand, in this sentence you are putting reason, in this sentence you are putting example, in this sentence you are giving additional information. If you follow this structure or the template that I've given you, you won't be repeating your idea. So organize your ideas carefully and use different examples to support your argument. Then answer the question, read the question carefully. Sometimes you can miss the main point of the question if you do not read carefully. I remember in one of my writing tasks, the question was about mental health and physical health, but as soon as I read the word health, I thought there is comparison between physical health and wealth. So I made my outline like that, and then only when I looked, no, I'm making a mistake, of course I lost my marks. And then from then onwards, whenever I have given essay, I make sure that I must read question carefully. So don't repeat a mistake that I made, right? So we can make mistakes, but I learned, now I'm teaching you not to repeat that mistake. So make sure your essay addresses the specific issue being asked, right? Provide enough evidence. Use examples from your life experience, or you can also quote any study. Use evidence of such as facts, statistics, examples, and quote to support your arguments. Plan your essay carefully to ensure it is well structured. It's really important. Entire outline, entire thinking should take place before. Now there is a famous quotation, a good essay finishes before it starts. So you have to plan entire skeleton, entire structure before before even starting to write, right? And then proofread your essay. It's really important. If you carefully read your essay again, you'll be saving your marks. So ideally you should divide your time 40 minutes like this: 5 minutes in the beginning for planning, 30 minutes for writing, and 5 minutes in the end for proofreading. It's really important. You'll be saving at least zero point 0.5 or at one band if you read well, because there might be grammatical mistakes, punctuation mistakes, spelling mistakes that you made by accident, or you made because you were writing in hurry. So you'll correct them, you'll get better band. And get feedback from others to identify areas that need improvement, right? So give it to a teacher. Nowadays there are softwares that can help you in giving opinion or evaluating your essay also. So please use whatever means you can to get feedback and keep improving slowly and gradually, right? Now, what we learned today. So let's talk about summary of today's lesson that we have learned. Understand the task. It's really important. Brainstorm, organize, and avoid mistakes. You can do it in the first 5 minutes for brainstorming, then organizing it well, and in the end, you must proofread to avoid mistakes. Practice. Read essays, read model essays. There are so many available online. Buy books. Nowadays they are all very expensive books, and read how other people write, right? And understand assessment criteria also, right? That's really important. You need to give examiner what they need. So what they need, you need to understand that before you write in the real exam. So, and get feedback. Improve, write regularly, and get feedback, right? That's it from my side, everybody. I hope you learned a few things. I'm sorry for the background noise. It's thundering outside where I am, but I think still I made my points clear. Thank you so much. These are my social media accounts. Connect with me, and please do not forget to subscribe and click bell icon. Thank you so much, guys. See you in another lesson. Take good care, and bye bye.